hello, come and make another custom hoodie with me. But I forgot to film the printing part, so I thought I would go into a couple of the other stages in a little bit more depth. So here we are in Illustrator with the super duper duper cute work that the customer sent us. This is order 7871. It was a very lovely PNG, but if we see here, so this here is the width and the height of the image based on the PNG's resolution. Whenever we do printing, especially for like the back of a hoodie, we want the width to be at least 300 millimeters. So we are a fair bit shy of that, because unfortunately if we printed, like if I just like, you know, change that to, I can't do this one-handed. If I just go 300, okay, now it's bigger, but when we print it, you're gonna see the pixels. You're gonna be able to smell and sniff and lick every single little pixel. It's gonna be visible, and like it'll look good from a distance. Close up, it'll not be so great. But luckily, this artwork is very cartoony with quite simple colors. So that means I can actually turn it into a vector. Ooh. So what is the difference between a raster and a vector? Well, a raster is a type of image, and it's the one that you're probably going to be most familiar with. It's an image that uses pixels to build the image. So, you know, PNGs, JPEGs, GIFs, all those typical image formats that you are normally familiar with. But a vector doesn't actually bake the pixels into the image. Instead, it uses points and uses maths to make the image. So it'll be like an SVG or a PDF or an EPS or even an AI, which is an Illustrator file, which is what we're in right now. But vectors can still have rasters in them, just to make that more confusing. But the main benefit of a vector is because it uses maths and not pixels, that means it can be scaled to any size whatsoever, and you won't get that same pixeling effect. It's going to be nice and smooth and crisp, whether it's like 10 centimeters wide or a kilometer wide. Like, it doesn't matter. It can be absolutely any size, which is what makes it perfect for printing. So, what I can do in Illustrator here, I have this thing called image trace. So, oh no, I'm tracing, oh, I'm gonna get cancelled. But basically, I can have Illustrator sort of look at the colors itself and kind of manually draw the vector lines over it. Here's one I prepared earlier. Whoop. You do have to kind of fiddle with the settings a fair bit to get it to sort of where you need. So, this is the vector version. So you see if I click on it, each little element is highlighted because each element is now its own shape that we can actually go in and directly edit if we wanted to. But you want to see some layer gore? Have a look at this. This is what's in this image now, but these are all individual parts of this now one vector image. I mean, it just keeps going and going and going and going and going. But that's why this is really only doable with cartoon. Could you imagine if this was like a realistic photo? You can do it, but oh my god, Illustrator struggles. But of course, you know, it's not going to be perfect because it is still Illustrator trying to figure it out. So like, some of the little shiny markings go a bit weird. I had to fix up a couple of things manually that just Illustrator wasn't quite sure how to work out the details. And you get a little bit of like some little weird dotties here and there, but for the sake of printing, it's going to be fine. And I made sure to clear it up with the customer as well first, and they were absolutely fine for the vector version to be printed. So yeah, if you are looking to get into printing your own stuff and printing your own artwork, please make sure to either make it a really big resolution or work with vectors. If you come to your printing company with a vector, they will love you forever. So I've already printed it, and now it's time for the heat press stage. Alright, here we are. So I've already popped the hoodie over the heat press platen, that's what that flat bit is called. And what I'm doing now is I'm measuring the distance between the edge of the platen and the armpits of the hoodie, because if it's the same distance on each side, then I know it's centered, which is very, very important. So next we have to find the center point of our actual transfer. So here's the transfer that I printed and forgot to film. Looks freaking awesome. So we need to actually fold it in half. So you grab the edge of it and sort of match it up with the edge of the other side, so then you know that that is the middle. So we give it a little fold, not a super hard fold, just a little bit, so that on the tops of the transfer there's a little crease. It's a bit hard to see, definitely much easier to see in person, but yeah, there's a little line there, which now I can measure as well. So the platen itself is 40 centimeters long, so I know if that little line that I made, the little crease, if that's 20 centimeters in, then that's the center. So just gonna measure it and make sure my little crease is 20 centimeters in on each side, and then that is definitely centered, and we are good to give that one a press. Now I'm not gonna skip ahead this time. You can sit here and endure the full agonizing 10 seconds with me. Do 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 do, waiting for the beep, waiting for the beep, do 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 do, dum da dum dum, can't leave, only 10 seconds, and there we go. We take that one off. Now this is a hot peel transfer, so that means you have to peel it pretty quickly after you've done pressing. So I always do like a couple little test pulls just to make sure it's actually going to peel off properly, because if you do it preemptively when it's not quite ready or you didn't quite use enough pressure, it'll rip. But then we just, whoop, there we go. So I managed to find a good angle, but we do need to press that one again with the Teflon there. So like if I just left that without pressing it again, it would be okay, but it doesn't feel nice. Like it has a bit of a papery texture to it, and it's definitely much more prone to like peeling or tearing. The colors aren't locked in as nicely, so it's definitely worth doing that second press. So we take off the Teflon, and she is done on this lovely charcoal colored hoodie. So we'll grab that one and get those nice glamour shots. There it is. Oh, it's so pretty, with that really nice crispy print because we used a vector and not a raster. So you have a look at those details there. Yeah, they're all nice and crisp and clean, no matter how big we print it. It's actually already on the way to the customer by the time you're watching this, so hopefully it arrives to them very swiftly and safely. And thank you so much for the order if you're watching this. And thank you so much for watching this as well. I very much appreciate. Be sure to head over to buuuuut.com if you'd like to order your very own custom hoodie or check out some of the designs we've got already up there. Oh, and don't forget to check out the custom wolf out hoodies. I will leave you off with the trailer if you missed that earlier. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. Have a good one.
The wolf bit you, didn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, he did.
Go on now. And heaven